Hello there, welcome back. This is the Brazilian Football Channel, and today we are talking about the beginning of the preparation of Brazil ahead of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, and the two first friendly matches that we have in the beginning of this path, especially yesterday's Brazil's 2-0 victory against the United States. And we are going to talk also about the five uncapped players that the coach Tite has called in the beginning of the renovation of the team that played the last World Cup. I think first I should tackle one of the main complaints of the Brazilian fans and Brazilian sports commentators. That's the fact that in these friendlies, Brazil usually plays very weak sides, like Saudi Arabia that we are going to play in October, or El Salvador that we are playing now on Tuesday. And the fans and commentators, they say that these teams, they don't offer a real challenge to Brazil. They don't give the coach a real opportunity to test new tactics and see how the players would do in real tough matches of the World Cup. And the fans and commentators, they say that we should play more European sides, like France, for instance, the current champions, or other European teams, or even tough South American opponents like Argentina that we play in October too. So that's a complaint that we have, and I think it's a right complaint. But curiously, as for our opponent yesterday, the United States, yes, historically, the United States is not a strong football team, but curiously, we have had at least three important and historic matches against the United States in recent history. I would first mention the 1995 quarterfinal of the Copa America when Brazil won by 1-0. By far, the most important was the round of 16 of the 1994 World Cup in the United States when the Betis scored that goal that helped us go through. And by far, the most thrilling match was the final of the Confederations Cup in 2009 when we started badly the match. The United States opened 2-0, but we came back from two goals and we won 3-2, and we ended up as champion of the Confederations Cup in that year. So these three matches at least were really important and thrilling, and they are good memories. But it was not the case of yesterday's match, of course. The team of the United States yesterday was a renovated team, also a very young side, and Brazil didn't have difficulties to win by 2-0. We played well, we controlled the game, but it was not really a challenge for the players. But perhaps this isn't a strategy. I would say specifically in the beginning of this preparation, because the coach Tite seems to be trying to have a smooth transition for the next World Cup. He called only five new players, uncapped players that had the first taste of what it's like to be in the group of Brazil preparing for a World Cup. They are Everton, uh, the forward Richarlison that plays for Everton, curiously, and midfielder Fabinho, and Lucas Paquetá that plays here in Brazil for Flamengo. So these players, they had they had the first chance yesterday, and they probably will have more minutes in the pitch in the next match against El Salvador, a very weak opponent. We have the total obligation of winning by a large margin of goals, and this is probably the best beginning for these players because it's a low pressure and they can develop better on the pitch. I think um, it's lucky that we have some competitions in these next 4 years to prepare better for the World Cup because I believe that these friendlies against El Salvador or Saudi Arabia, they don't really add anything to the coach or to the players personally. But we have the World Cup qualifying where we play at least some four or five tough opponents like Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, Colombia, and perhaps Peru that's in a better phase now. So these matches, I think they are much better to test, to observe, and to prepare the players for a real competition like the World Cup. And we also have Copa America next year here in Brazil, which is going to be uh, a better pressure for the players because we are playing home after the real shame that was the last World Cup. So I think this will be a good test, both for the players and for Titi for the next World Cup. But these friendlies, I really, really believe we should play more European sides. If we can't play a team like France or Germany, at least we could play more teams like Austria or Sweden or maybe Switzerland or Serbia that will offer a better challenge for the players and for the coach. But we are in the beginning of the path. Let's see how the coach will do in the next friendlies, and let's hope that the players will feel comfortable and do well. That shall be all for today. Thank you for your presence, and I see you next. Bye bye.